Hi everyone, and welcome to House of Risk Live. I'm really pleased to see you all today. Great to see some familiar faces and some new ones as well, which is lovely. I guess front and centre, I should say, with my data protection hat on, I want to let you know that I'm recording the session, just as I've just said, and we'll be sharing this with attendees that couldn't make our live session today. So if you don't want to be recorded, then I will make sure you're not seen it or heard in the video. Okay, so the purpose of this session comes from the concept, I guess, of having loads of content-heavy emails that we've had very little bandwidth to read and take in, and therefore becoming that kind of white noise in our inboxes. We all feel that pain, I know. And then I got to thinking, how can we deliver some content of an email in a more personal and focused approach that engages with you as the audience? So from this, House of Risk Live has been created. And so welcome to this, our very first live newsletter. So the purpose of today is to introduce me. So hello, if you don't already know me, and introduce House of Risk and what we can offer you in your organisations. We have a couple of really exciting things to announce today too, which I am particularly proud to share with you. So thanks for coming along. Let's dive in. So getting to know us a bit better, who we are and what we do. For many of you that are here already today, you know me. I'm Becky Tucker, and I'm founder of House of Risk. I had an amazing opportunity which I seized with both hands and took the leap from my full-time role last summer, and basically something I'd been dreaming of for years, but never had the courage to actually get up and do. So sometimes it takes that push, doesn't it, to kind of launch you forward into doing something that scares you. And here it is, House of Risk. So we opened our virtual doors at the beginning of September last year. And since then, it's been a massive learning curve for me on all areas of running my own business for the first time. So from the planning stage through our launch and up to the present day even, every day has involved something new for us. I've built a new website, learned accounting, not very well, I have to say. I've got people that do that. Created a social media presence, joined business networks, written blogs, and of course started to work with organisations. The last part, I guess, is more of my comfort zone area, as I've worked in the sector for around about 13 years in all areas of risk, audit, insurance, data protection, compliance. You know the drill. I understand, I guess, the requirements of managing risks effectively and the importance of being able to demonstrate that to our executives, our boards, committees, and of course the regulator ultimately. So I guess from my experienced practitioner role within the housing sector myself, I also understand the rhythm of the governance calendar and the specific tasks that happen throughout the year, whether this be corralling the business into signing off the corporate assurance statements or writing the risk section of the annual report, key moments in a long list of the reporting stuff that we all do to provide assurance that things are being well managed around here. This coupled with providing risk management training organisation-wide to ensure that everyone in your organisation appropriately understands their role in the context of managing risk. So I guess, for example, a general awareness of risk management outside of that health and safety remit for those in the more operational roles, through to those in the more in-depth understanding of the risk and the key role it plays in the delivery of corporate objectives and the delivery against the business plan itself for those in more senior roles. Professional development, though, for me has been key, mostly through my career. I previously, in another life, started out in adult education as a lecturer and ended up as an FE Business College head of business school. So I guess also my degree and masters are both in this area, so both qualified and experienced to deliver training in a topic that is also in my comfort zone. So a kind of a match made in heaven, you might say. So for many years, I've seen, appreciated and experienced the value of networking, stuff like this, getting together and having conversations. One of the things I love most about the sector is that openness and friendly professionalism when it comes to sharing, and I'm sure we all can agree in this room. We and I consider myself to be part of the sector still, learn from one another. We share lessons, we have our experiences together, hints and tips on the way that we do things around here. And this is where the National Housing Risk Management Network came in. We now have members from all over England and Wales, and we meet quarterly. I love this side of the business and hope to continue to do this in the future. So, sounds twee, together we are stronger. And actually, in the words of my favourite motivational speaker, Simon Sinek, together is better. At House of Risk, we like to think that we are different to the usual consultants. I know I would say that. I've previously worked with many through my work in organisations myself. And that usual business consultant relationship is so often driven by sales, by revenue, and doesn't really understand the needs of the business, and nor have a genuine desire to add value to a sector that we are all actually passionate about. I'm describing perhaps our social purpose and what it means to us to get things done and done well for our residents, customers and stakeholders. Perhaps to provide a housing service that is one that ourselves we would want to receive. I haven't been quiet in sharing my thoughts over recent months about sector experiencing that perfect storm. Some elements of what we deliver in the sector is broken, and this is often related to a lack of joined up thinking, internal communication, smart processes, good data quality, and knowledge of our stock and our communities on the ground. We've absolutely helped the sector so far already, help with things like risk universe setting, setting board risk appetites and carrying out whole register reviews, along with our retained service approach as well. So really getting stuck into the sector and hopefully responding to some of those big issues that are our day-to-day pain points, as I like to call them. But actually, we've also been busy behind the scenes as well. And so, we've already covered some of the things that we're doing on a day-to-day approach within the sector. But now I want to share with you a couple of really exciting new projects, some really chunky projects that we've been working on. So I mentioned earlier my skills and background in adult education, and this has always been a passion of mine. And therefore, it made perfect sense for me to develop a brand new continuing professional development programme for the sector, a CPD programme, as you might like. So probably like me, many of you have gathered professional certificates over the years that we add to our CV, but that actually don't really add anything to our day job. They are about kind of documenting to others what we know and what we are doing, but actually not necessarily useful for getting our list of tasks done and completed within the busy, deadline-driven environment that we are all now working within. I wanted to create a training package that shows best practice for the sector on how to do things and provides relevant supporting material. So here we have, drumroll, Toolbox Pro. So this is the first time that I've kind of shared this out there with anyone. So the new newsletter live is the first place to do that, I guess. And what you can see here is a tailor-made program that enables either, as you can see in the first column there, a pay-as-you-go approach. And this approach is aimed at that smaller organisation that need perhaps a targeted approach to training that provides them with a manageable cost to do so on a kind of dip in, dip out methodology. Through to that middle column there, the middle of 3, through to the full package for individuals. And that allows access to our exciting new programme of activities that really gets to the heart of the tasks of the government calendar, just when you think you need it. We mentioned earlier some of those things, such as developing reports for boards and audit and risk committees and writing the annual report risk section, hints, tips and pro formas to download, which makes tasks like that corporate assurance statement a breeze. Well, maybe not a breeze, but you get my drift. So our final package then on the right-hand side provides the most saving and value for money and is aimed at organisations that want to have the flexibility of sending various members of your teams and the most appropriate elements of the programme perhaps in order to upskill new or inexperienced members of staff, for example. So the programme is going to consist of 12 monthly instalments of learning, each certificated, The full programme also includes a full delegate access to our next and most exciting new launch for 2023, which is our Housing GRC conference. So here we have Housing GRC, which is a brand new approach to conferences in the sector, as it aims to bring together a range of topics that provide the elements required to join up the conversation internally, otherwise known as perhaps that golden thread that we're all looking to create through the governance, risk and compliance work that we all do. I'm sure we'll all agree many of the failures in the sector today are due to data quality or indeed lack thereof. This conference is absolutely the first of its kind that aims to bring together those conversations. We have some exciting topics, some speakers, sponsors and exhibitors to share with you. And also, if you haven't already by then joined our full Toolbox Pro programme, then the cost of conference will be an early bird package available to you to book in due course. So don't forget that with the programme, if you remember on our previous slide, actually includes conference cost. And the full delegate price will be $249. There will be an early bird, as I mentioned. Okay, so I guess it's important to talk here at this point about the conference and where it came from. And that was around my vision when setting up the business plan for House of Risk in the first place, was I wanted to be bold and I wanted to be aspirational in its delivery. I'm working with some exciting collaborators on this, 3C consultants and the data protection people. They're there to help us with that golden thread piece around data quality and joining up those dots, as I like to call it. I would absolutely love to see as many organisations represented at this conference as we can. So do spread the word with your peers in the sector, and let's make the conversation the start of many years of coming together in this way. So the conference event itself will be held at the British Motor Museum in Gaydon, Oxfordshire, and it will be on, as it says, the 18th of May. If you'd like to be one of the first to book, then do get in touch and I will add you to the early bird list for a guaranteed early bird price. Okay, so we're coming to the end of our newsletter live and the session today. Remember that when you need some help with some specific projects, just like we've gone through before, or perhaps it's to backfill when resources are short, or to access some bespoke training, we are always there for you. It sounds a bit twee, but we are. I encourage you to get in touch to sign up to our new CPD programme for you and your team. You won't regret it, and we'd love to have you on board. Let's make the sector great again and do the right thing for residents, customers, stakeholders, and the regulator. So here's how you can get in touch. Most of you will already know me on LinkedIn, and that's probably how you arrived here today or as part of the network. I've just launched a new Facebook account, so do find us on there and be one of the first to follow. I'm not sure we're quite up to TikTok dances quite yet, but you never know, and I'm not holding back yet. But absolutely do feel free to stay in the session now if you have any questions, if you'd like to register for our CPD course or early bird conference place at a later date, just get in touch and let me know. And thank you for joining. That comes to the end.